Hi, my name is Ben, physical therapist here at Total Physical Therapy, and today we are going to be talking about how you can use exercise to perform cardiovascular activity. As a physical therapist, I get the privilege of working with a wide variety of different types of patients, and with each patient comes their unique challenges with their disability or the injury that they have. And one of the things that I'll come across, I will always bring up the idea that we need to be performing cardiovascular exercise. What are you doing throughout the day that's going to get your heart rate elevated in order to help improve the condition of your heart? And one simple way to do this is to go for walks. And so a lot of times people respond, "Oh, I go for a walk," or something like that. But inevitably there's someone who says, I can't go for a walk because my knee hurts. Or I can't go for a walk because my back only lets me go for about 3 minutes and then I have to sit down. Then they feel like they're trapped. They feel like they are unable to perform cardiovascular activity because they can't go for a walk, or maybe they can't sit down on a bike and tolerate riding a bike. What I want to share with you today are some ideas that we can use with exercise in order to achieve our cardiovascular goals. The tool that we're going to talk about today is what we call circuit training. Circuit training, in its fundamental idea, is where we take an exercise and then instead of resting after we do an exercise, we go into another exercise. And then again, we don't rest, we go into another exercise. So for example, maybe we have 5 exercises, and instead of doing 3 sets of one exercise, 3 sets of two exercise, the second exercise, what we do is we do 1 set of the first exercise, go into a set of the second exercise, go into a set of the third exercise, and a set of the fourth exercise. And I think you get the point. We are just moving forward through the exercises without taking rest breaks. What this is going to do is this is going to get your body moving, and by moving, your heart rate is going to go up, and it's going to stay up because you are not going to take rest breaks between each exercise. You just jump into the next exercise. And so there are a couple of things that we need to think about in order to effectively do circuit training. The first thing we need to think about is how we want to accumulate a volume or the amount of each exercise that we are doing. There are 2 basic ways that we can do this. We can either do repetitions of each exercise, where I do maybe a set of 10 with the first exercise, a set of 20 with the second exercise, a set of 10 with the third exercise. Or you can do it another way, and I'll be honest, this is my favorite way to do circuit training, is where you just say, I'm gonna do exercise 1 for 30 seconds, and then I'm gonna move to exercise 2 for 30 seconds, and then move to exercise 3 for 30 seconds. By doing this, this allows you to not have to worry about counting as you're going through the exercises, allows you to be able to think about the movement while you're doing the exercise, and whenever the timer goes off, you just know it's time to go to the next exercise. One of the unwritten rules with circuit training is that when you are performing a certain circuit training circuit, you are wanting to make sure that you are not working the same muscle groups back to back. So say for example, the first exercise I do is a wall push-up. For the second exercise, I probably don't want to make it a regular push-up or some sort of pushing exercise. Maybe I switch it up to a leg exercise. So for example, I do a wall push-up and then exercise number 2 is a squat. Exercise number 3 should probably not be a lunge or something like that. Maybe exercise 3 goes back up to the arms. So maybe I do like an overhead press or maybe a row or something like that. By alternating upper body and lower body, this will allow you to be able to keep your body moving but not fatigue one set of muscles. So that allows you to be able to go through the circuit and be able to complete it without getting super tired. Another thing to consider with circuit training is, I know we are trying to reduce how many rest breaks that we are getting. And so we are going from exercise 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in sequence. Once you get done with those 5 exercises, normally what we'll do is we'll go back to exercise 1 and do that sequence again. And depending on what your goals are and how you want to operate the circuit, you can take a rest break at the end of the 5th exercise before you start exercise number 1 again. Or, depending again on your goals, you can just go ahead and jump straight back into exercise number 1 and keep your heart rate up. So it just depends on what you're trying to do with that, but you are welcome to add in a rest break if you feel like you need to catch your breath after the 5th exercise. Let me give you an example of a circuit workout. Exercise number 1 could be a wall push-up that you do for 30 seconds. Then you'll move into exercise 2, which will be a squat or a sit to stand that you will perform for 30 seconds. Exercise number 3 can be a bent over row where for one hand, you're doing one hand for 30 seconds and then you do the other hand for 30 seconds. Exercise 4 could be a bridge where you lay on your back and raise your hips up to the ceiling. And then exercise 5 can be a dead bug where you're laying on your back and you're alternating your arms and legs back and forth. Again, performing that for 30 seconds. To go through that sequence, that will take you about 3 minutes to do, because technically there were 6 exercises because the row was one arm and then the other arm. It'll take you about 3 minutes to get through that. Once you get through that, then you're going to go back to exercise 1 and you're going to do that sequence over again, which again will take you another 3 minutes. And so what I want you to do is I want you to go through this circuit 5 times. And by going through this circuit 5 times, you will get about 15 minutes of cardiovascular work where your heart rate is staying up and working. Now, whenever we are talking about cardiovascular exercise, we need to be thinking about the total amount of time that we're working. In this example, I gave you a workout that will take about 15 minutes to complete. The question becomes, is that enough cardiovascular activity for me to be healthy? And the answer is, it depends. If you were only doing 5 minutes of cardiovascular activity a day prior to this, then 15 minutes is much better than 5 minutes. And in that case, you will get benefits from it and you will become healthier by doing this. However, it is not the recommended amount of cardiovascular activity that is typically recommended. The amount of cardiovascular activity that's recommended for most people to be healthy throughout the day is 150 minutes per week of cardiovascular activity. Most people split this up into 5 days a week of 30 minutes a day. So if I do 30 minutes, 5 days a week, then I will accumulate the minimum threshold, which is 150 minutes. So with this example, I gave you an example what takes you about 15 minutes to perform. And over time, what you can do is you can gradually build up the amount of time that you're doing these exercises. You have 2 options. You can either start doing more rounds of them. So instead of doing 5 circuits, then you can go through 6 circuits, which would take 18 minutes, and then build your way up to 7 circuits, which would take 21 minutes. Or that's one way you can progress your way up. Or what you can do is you can add in other exercises. So instead of making it a 5 exercise circuit, maybe I add it in a 6th exercise. By doing that, that will increase the total amount of time that you are doing the circuit. So like I said, in order to use exercise for cardiovascular activity, circuits training is an effective way to be able to get your heart rate up and to be able to do cardiovascular activity well, even if you are unable to, say, go for walks or do other things like that. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and hopefully this will give you some ideas of things that you can try. Of course, if you guys have any trouble with any movements or you guys really need a lot of guidance in figuring out how to set this up for yourself, please talk to your physical therapist and they can help you and guide you in this journey as you're trying to become healthier and move better. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys did, give us a thumbs up and give us a comment down in the comment section below. And as always, I hope you guys have a great day.